Hello, hello, good evening, and welcome to the Lawndale Christian Legal Center's 9th Annual Benefit. I'm Brandis Friedman. I am the co-anchor and a correspondent for Chicago Tonight on WTTW, among other things, and I am your host for tonight's virtual event, and we're really excited that you're here. As with all things for 2020, our event looks a little different this year. While we miss seeing you all in person, of course, we have a great night planned. Outstanding entertainment, great speakers, and meaningful awards. To get us started, I want to pass it over to the Reverend Laura Truax, Senior Pastor for LaSalle Street Church, for our opening prayer.
Holy God, how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who shout salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns. We come to you tonight to celebrate the work of advocacy, justice, and mercy being done by the Lawndale Christian Legal Center. We bring shouts of gratitude for the good news bearers, the team of lawyers and social workers and support staff and board members. We thank you for the way they show up and show others the possibility and beauty of who they are, bringing hope, bringing expertise, bringing passion and commitment. Tonight we lift up the peace proclaimers, for we know that Lawndale Christian Legal Center is more than peacekeeping. They are peacemaking, bringing justice and equity that form the foundation of any true lasting peace. Tonight, we lift up the salvation shouters, those people who stand in the gap and put their shoulders to the work of shalom, lending their best energy to the task of human flourishing. We lift up all who proclaim that the God of justice and truth reigns, not only in the heavens, but on earth as well. That the Alpha and Omega, the one who was, is, and evermore shall be, is active and alive, walking streets, doing the work of reclaiming and restoring and redeeming. And that when the curtain closes on this human experience, love alone will have the final word. We gather tonight to celebrate, to honor, and to commit ourselves to the work before us. With gratitude and conviction, we begin this evening in your name, knowing that yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. And let all God's people say, Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Truax. We are here tonight because LCLC is important to each of us in some way. Whether you are here because you support fairness and justice for all, believe in the unique developmental needs of young people, support criminal justice reform, have been a client, or are a staff or board member, we thank you for sharing in this evening. Tonight, we reflect on the hard work that has gone into making LCLC what it is today, a place where young people can come at one of their most vulnerable times and be welcomed with a caring spirit and a kind heart. LCLC's team of lawyers, case managers, and street outreach are top-notch, and they continue to touch the lives of hundreds of young people in North Lawndale every year. This year, our North Lawndale community has been struck hard by the twin pandemics of systemic racism and COVID-19. LCLC remains steadfast in its commitment to serving and supporting the community however it can. This included handing out over 1,000 care packages throughout the community and working to keep all of our young people safe. These achievements would not be possible without all of you. So tonight, we celebrate. Tonight's event is jam-packed with exciting speakers from the Lawndale community and the Chicago area. First, we'll hear from LCLC's Executive Director, Cliff Nellis. He'll be giving us an update on what's going on at LCLC. Following Cliff, there'll be a message from Quinn Rallins, with the Lieutenant Governor's Office. Chicago's very own a cappella group, The Remedy, are here. And we'll continue our program with more of LCLC's great work by hearing from Dr. Dennis Deere and one of LCLC's clients, Anita. Just before our keynote speaker, Jahmal Cole, takes the stage, I'll be drawing the first of our raffle prizes. And immediately following Jahmal's message, I'll be pulling off our final names for the incredible raffle prizes that have been donated for tonight's event. Before we begin our program, I want to provide a huge shout out to the generous sponsors who supported tonight's program. Scrolling below me, right there it is. I think you can see it, right? Scrolling below me is more information on how you can continue supporting the great work of LCLC. But a huge thank you to Indiana, Illinois, Iowa Foundation for Fair Contracting, Riley Safer Homes and Cancilla, Rachel Lay, Jenner and Block, Schiff Harden, Pepsi, GMA Construction Group, Hugendorn and Talbot, the Staines Family Foundation, Small Good, Saul Ewing, Arnstein and Lair, Tomasic Coat and Casterman, hey Sean, and Dr. Dennis Deere. Okay, that's enough from me. It is time to get on with our show. I'd like to first introduce a man who needs no introduction. I think you all know him. Lawndale Christian Legal Center's Executive Director, Cliff Nellis. Cliff, over to you.
Thank you for that introduction, and thank you, Laura Truax, for that beautiful prayer to start our evening together. As many of you know me, I'm Cliff Nellis, the Executive Director of the Lawndale Christian Legal Center. Tonight, during these most unexpected times, I'm addressing you from within my office in North Lawndale. Now, like many of you, I've been wearing a lot of sweatpants recently. So tonight, I'm wearing what I call a Corona tuxedo. I'm black tie on top, sweatpants on the bottom. Don't worry, our cameraman's not going to zoom out to spare us all the embarrassment of seeing that. Now, the truth is, though, that this year has been the most challenging of years. I remember in March of this year, when the governor issued his shelter-in-place order, several of our youth commented that North Lawndale would likely be protected from the outbreak because North Lawndale is already under quarantine. I remember thinking that was a profound statement, but I also remember thinking that was perhaps true, because so many of our youth live outside of the social, economic, and political reality and life of our city. Sadly, as the months unfolded, we learned quickly this would not be true, as we were faced with the reality that 70% of coronavirus-related deaths were African Americans. Although this year has been difficult for everyone, once again, racial disparities reared their ugly head as the coronavirus spread throughout Chicago. At LCLC, the virus became very personal, as many people from our community became infected, and one of our staff members lost their mother. I'm incredibly proud, however, to share with you tonight that despite the hardship that 2020 has brought, our team at LCLC has persevered during this great time of sorrow and been a source of strength and hope in our community. The weekend before the governor's shelter-in-place order went into effect in March, our legal team worked around the clock to bring our youth in custody home. Our attorneys outlined in detail the public health risks of a pandemic in jail settings, much like nursing homes and cruise ships. And they argued that none of our youth, presumed to be innocent pending trial, ought to be involuntarily exposed to this virus. As a result, all of our youth, except for one, was released from jail to shelter in place with their families in the comfort of their own home. Only weeks later, the Cook County Jail was one of the greatest hotspots in the nation as the virus spread rapidly throughout the jail, later accounting for 1 out of every 6 infections in Chicago. Our social service team also stepped up during this time of great need. They delivered hundreds of food boxes to families out of work and those that could not leave their house. We gathered food boxes in my garage and dispersed them throughout the neighborhood. Due to the support from so many of you, our team was also able to provide our young people with masks and hand sanitizer, as well as the equipment and technology that they need to participate in e-learning from their home, go to work remotely, and access services like mental health, legal services, cognitive behavioral therapy, and mentoring. We were even able to make sure that some of our youth had recreational gaming equipment and internet gift cards that they could not otherwise afford. All this helped our youth continue to progress in their education and employment while ensuring that they stayed safe and healthy within their own home. There's no staff member at LCLC that has demonstrated LCLC's commitment to our youth better than this year's recipient of our Outstanding Staff Award, Kilo Sims. When Kilo started with us in January of 2014, we were a much smaller office with only 9 staff members. She was one of 3 case managers on our team. We had 2 law school fellows and myself on the legal team. 7 years later, Kilo continues to joyously serve our youth, persevering through the good times and the bad, the funerals, the graduations, the victories in court, the challenges, and the awards. Today, we have almost 50 staff members, and Kilo's faith, character, and values have shined for us, and we are indebted to the joyful service she brings not only to her babies, our youth, but to our team as well. Kilo, you are most deserving of this award. Congratulations. During this time when the need for support and service has been greatest, I am proud to say that we deepened our resolve and strengthened our commitment to continue serving North Lawndale and our youth. 2020 has also witnessed the death of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. Forced this year to sit with these videos while sheltering in place, more people than ever across our country are wrestling with institutional bias in our criminal justice system. I've received more calls than ever before from people who are saying, I think I get it. Black lives matter. We need to do something. And they're coming to LCLC to look for solutions. I'm proud to say that we have solutions. Over the last 10 years, we have developed a unique model of holistic community-based legal social interventions in North Lawndale. I'm happy to share with you tonight that we have plans to scale our services to 7 other communities across Chicago over the next 4 years. Our mission now is to transform criminal justice as we know it for every young person 24 years old and younger across Cook County. And with support from people like you, we will succeed. By scaling our model, we can substantially eliminate institutional bias and end mass incarceration in Cook County. Nobody could have predicted that in 2020 we'd face a global pandemic that would force us to use virtual platforms and social distancing. And while I know many of us are zoomed out, I thank you for logging in tonight to stay connected to the important work we are doing at the Lawndale Christian Legal Center. As many of you know, the last year, Governor signed an executive order establishing the Justice, Equity, and Opportunity Initiative under the Office of the Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. This office aims to shift our state from a system focused on punishment to restorative justice. Tonight, I'm proud to say we have the Director of JEO, my friend, Quinn Rallins.
Thank you so much, Cliff, for that wonderful introduction, and good evening to you all. Each fall, thousands of geese fly from Chicago to the southern part of our country to escape our bitterly cold winter. You've seen them, and if not, you can close your eyes and imagine them taking flight from the waters of Lake Michigan, quickly forming a V-shaped pattern with one rotating goose in the center, leading and all the other geese trailing behind in 2 close lines. Geese have always been a part of my own journey with justice. As a college student in Morehouse, I could remember geese flying from the Gulf Coast when Katrina struck. Tens of thousands flew over Atlanta as I studied. Afterwards, I would see them as I traveled off the Boston Harbor as I worked on affordable housing, and Alabama as I helped fight debt disparities, and back in Chicago as I returned to challenge the criminal justice system. Everywhere I went, there was injustice and there were geese. Wildlife scientists have concluded and conducted extensive studies on geese and their formation, and perhaps there are lessons for our own work. But people often ask me, what could geese possibly tell us about our justice work? Well, they might tell us to keep flying in formation, that the most important thing in justice work is organized people and organized money, and that without proper formation, we are powerless. We have to work together, share common values, and most importantly, have a common destination. That's how we arrive at our destination faster and easier. That's probably how many of us arrived here. Scientists estimate that when all of us as geese are together, we can fly about 70% further with less energy. Our V formation actually reduces air resistance and provides additional lift for each of us. People often ask me, what could geese possibly tell us about our justice work? Well, they might tell us that we need to pick each other up, that this justice thing is tiring. People burn out. People often give up. People are underpaid. Turnover is very heavy. People experience too many losses and not enough wins. And the flight can seem too long. The geese would tell us that they too get ill. They too get injured, and some fall by the wayside. But whenever a goose drops out of formation, 2 geese fall down and remain with the fallen goose. They will stay with and protect the injured goose, protect it from harm until it's ready to fly again. What could geese possibly tell us about our justice work? Well, they might tell us that leaders also follow, that we need young people and new fresh ideas, and fresh energy, new thoughts. We need new judges, new prosecutors, public defenders, and new elected officials. Some have taken us as far as they can, and others, some have taken us in the wrong direction. The geese might tell us that when the leader gets tired in the formation, what happens is the goose drops out of the front position and moves to the back of the V. The back of the V is where the resistance is lighter. And another goose can move to the front to carry the weight, to have a new opportunity for leadership. This rotation happens many times in the course of geese being in flight. And it should happen for us in the course of our own justice fight. People often ask me, what could geese possibly tell us about our justice work? Well, they might tell us to encourage each other. They would tell us that this is relational work, that action outside of a relationship can be a nuisance, that our power actually rests in the relationships that we have with one another. Scientists report that the loud, often annoying honking sounds that we hear by geese are their way of encouraging one another during a long flight. And so on behalf of the Justice, Equity, and Opportunity Initiative for the state of Illinois, I am extremely proud and excited to be here to support LCLC at this critical moment in our history where too many underserved communities are asking, what does justice look like for me? I'm excited to be in formation with you. I'm excited that we have picked each other up along the journey to keep us flying strong. I'm excited that you have created space for a generation like me to lead. And I'm excited that this is just another moment of us supporting one another along the journey. I love you. I appreciate you. And as the great Nina Simone might say, birds flying high, you know how I feel.
Wow, Quinn, what a message. I love that metaphor about the geese. That was really impressive. Thank you so much for bringing that to us, Quinn Rallins. And now, a little bit of music for your Friday night. Get ready. Introducing The Remedy.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Whoa, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Sing it, sing it. It's been too hard living. Whoa, see, I ain't afraid to die. God said He be waiting on me somewhere beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Oh, yeah. Then I'll go, yeah, to my brother. And I said, brother, will you help me please? Help me please. But she winds up knocking me. I'm back down on my knees. I'll say, oh, there are times when I thought I wouldn't last this long, yeah. But now I think I'm able, to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Wow, I have goosebumps. That was amazing. Thank you so much to The Remedy for singing us that beautiful song and for making a special video for our event tonight. My name is Karen and I work for LCLC. Thank you all for supporting our organization, even though the event looked a little bit different this year. I wanted to point out the donate button below where you can click and donate any amount you can to our justice programs. I want to turn it over to Dr. Deer now to continue our program. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Dennis Deer. Some know me as Cook County Commissioner Dennis Deer. I serve as the Vice President of Organizational Health for Lawndale Christian Legal Center. Outside of my work with the Legal Center, I serve as the Cook County Commissioner for the 2nd District. Interestingly enough, Lawndale Christian Legal Center is right in the center of my district, right along with all of the rest of the Lawndale Christian family. I'm very, very thankful because I'm able to practice working with our youth in our community, and then I go to the other side and work on legislation that will be beneficial to each and every one of them and all of you. We're very, very thankful. This has been a very trying year for all of us. I'm sure that you would agree with that. This has been a year where we have had an unprecedented pandemic occur, where we had to stay in shelter for quite a while. Many individuals have been lost this year, over 210,000. Some are still struggling. We also know that there has been a significant amount of unrest, of racism, of classism, of ageism. We know that it has been very trying being in the United States of America. But I don't oftentimes look at what's taking place right now. I look at what can we do in an effort to move our nation, our government, and our people forward. Remember, it's not justice, it's just us who keep on getting left out. At Lawndale Christian Legal Center, we are about transforming lives. And ultimately, our goal is to transform the criminal justice system so that we can take the justice and highlight it in criminal justice. Some of the work that I've done on the county side of the table is I've sponsored many pieces of legislation. The one that's most paramount here is the legislation that I sponsored declaring racism a public health crisis. Racism as well as racial inequalities. Why? We saw it when COVID took place. Coronavirus that African Americans were impacted a lot more than any other culture. Latinos were impacted a lot more than others. And so what that means is there is health inequities taking place. If we sat down and talked about this, we would see that health inequities and every other inequity is taking place all around our country. We have to do something about it. I'm happy for the work that we're doing at Lawndale Christian Legal Center. The work, the holistic structure of our legal team is just fantastic. We're able to tap into the youth that we work with who happen to be majority African American, who happen to have suffered many of the inequalities that you saw on TV from police brutality. We help them to overcome their issues in the criminal justice system while case managers and outreach workers are helping them in their communities. I think it's fantastic. We have to continue to move forward from a legislative perspective to ensure that the public policy that we are creating are helping to create programs like the programs we have at Lawndale Christian Legal Center. We're thankful for people like you who have donated and have given your support. We are appreciative because we could not do this without you. Dr. King oftentimes sung the song, "We shall overcome." We shall overcome someday. Dr. King also said, "I have a dream that one day we as a nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed." Today is that day. Today is the day that we overcome. We cannot do it without your help. We're thankful for all that you have done, but we ask if you can partner a little bit more with us, please do that because we need you. Before I sign off, we have been working hard on equity, but we have to understand that equity and equality are two different things. Equity is about getting what you need. Equality is about getting what you want. It is important that we understand that. Equity is about helping those individuals who have been underserved and put in travesties for many years. Socrates said something a long time ago. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to always get what you've always got. Help us keep just in justice. Next up, we have Anita Stevens, who is our client awardee. She's going to talk a little bit about her story. Make sure you sit up in your chair and listen because I think this may be a teardrop.
I never in my life knew what a handcuff felt like. I never in my life knew how it feels to be in this cop car or how it feels to get arrested for something that I thought would have messed up my life.
I can see a day of gold ahead.
Anita's case is very unique because it was the first gun case that was dismissed on the record in the Restorative Justice Community Court. And she was such a success story showing that you can have a gun case and come to this court and be successful and shine the way that she did.
Restorative justice is giving you the opportunity to make up for what you did wrong. COVID, the world was shut down. People were, losing their lives over it. Social distancing, masks, and I was also pregnant during the COVID. In the delivery room, they tested me, and they came back that I had COVID. And they were like, that you can have COVID with no symptoms. It was kind of aggravating because it was like my baby had to be in isolation. I was a working girl. Mm-hmm. I worked Monday through Friday, every day, mainly second shift all day. I just wanted to work and then go outside you know, but so, you know, I got that one incident, I learned from it that I really did. It like woke me up. When I got pregnant, all I thought about was my child now. Everything I do is now it's about her. It's gonna be affected on her. So I have to think like how I'm gonna get income, how I'm gonna make sure income keep coming in. So it's like first thing in my mind, like I'm gonna design some things, customize some things, and that's what I thought about the logos.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, stay focused. That's the main thing right there. Staying focused. But this can get like it'll wear you down. Like it's not going how I thought it'd go. It'll bring you down. But once you have that mentality, like you know, you just gotta keep going. You gotta believe in yourself, believe in your business. So that's what I got in my head right now. Like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna go up.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I want to congratulate her on taking full advantage of the opportunity of coming through the Restorative Justice Community Court. She came through the court very quickly, very determined to complete all the tasks that she had agreed to complete. And in the meantime, had a baby and started a business. She's just exactly the person who would benefit from the Restorative Justice Community Court.
That was wonderful what she said. That was really wonderful what she said. I really appreciate her for saying those bright things about me. And for her to say like, we'll be like a great mentor or like come back and help and inspire other kids, young ones and all that. Like open me up like, oh my God, do you really like think that of me? I really felt good as a person that I did what I was supposed to do, completed what I was supposed to complete it. And now I look forward to all the new things out here, any opportunities that will be out here for me.
I'm never giving up faith.
And it felt good to like achieve everything and to like had everything done. My last court date was September, I think it was the 17th. Everything was completed, I was congratulated, and it just made me feel good as a person. Like, I feel like I'm doing something right as a mother. And now I'm just looking forward to being my own boss, being my own, you know, making my own everything. And if I fail, it's all up to me that I fail. It's all on me. It's nobody else that can make me feel anything I do. I want to thank LCLC for introducing me to the RJCC. For future, you know, people, if you got this opportunity, you got this chance, I want you to like take that. You guys should take that, because it's like, I feel like a new person out here, like literally got that second chance that really feel like the first chance again.
I will go all the way. This will be the day. This will be the day.
Wow, what a show we have had so far. It is so inspiring to hear from one of LCLC's very own clients. Anita, thank you for sharing your story, and congratulations on your success, your new business, and of course, becoming a mother. Also, great words to hear from Dr. Deere and the amazing tunes from The Remedy. They were awesome. Before we get to our keynote speaker, Jahmal Cole, it is time for some raffle prizes. That's the Zoom applause. I think everybody's probably getting used to that by now. Okay, I hope we're all ready for the fun. We have a lot of really great items donated from local businesses all across the Chicagoland area. We'll start with a few items and then we'll close tonight's program with the big picks. So stick around after Jahmal's message to know if you're a winner for one of those. First up, we have a Collectivo coffee gift box, and the winner for this raffle goes to Catherine Powlis. Congratulations, Catherine. Next up, we have several signed books. First, a signed copy of Me and White Supremacy by Layla Saad. And the winner for this item is Chris Baker. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Chris. Congratulations. Now, for The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Winner for this item is Mike Hobbs. Another Angie Thomas novel, On the Come Up. The winner for this one is Teddy Park. Next, a Thrive Market one-year membership. Thrive Market is an online grocer. Winner for that is Avik Das. Congratulations. And then one final item for this round is a $65 gift card for lunch for two at Chamagucha Restaurant, courtesy of Dr. Dennis Deere. Thank you for this, Dr. Deere. Lucky winner is Connie Moreno. Congratulations to all of our winners. There are more great raffle prizes that we'll be pulling those soon, as I mentioned. Like I said, you want to stick around after our final speaker to see if you are a winner. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. We are thrilled to be presenting our Partner in Justice Award to our friend and partner, Jahmal Cole. The Partner in Justice Award is given to extraordinary individuals who demonstrate commitment and passion to pursuing justice, equity, and opportunity for young people. These remarkable individuals understand the collective responsibility that we all share to live in ways that shape our society to be more open, equitable, and accessible for all of our youth. Our partners in justice lean into the moral arc of the universe described by Dr. King to ensure that it bends towards justice. Jahmal is the CEO and founder of My Block, My Hood, My City. A champion of social justice, his mission is to build a more interconnected Chicago on the pillars of service and education. Jahmal is the creator of an exposure-based education program for teens and a network of volunteer initiatives that serve Chicago communities year-round. Jahmal has many accolades, including being named to Crain's 40 Under 40, receiving the Champion of Freedom Award, the Chicago Defender Men of Excellence honoree, the American Red Cross Community Impact Hero Award, and the Chicago City Council Resolution Award. He's also been named one of the 20 most inspiring Chicagoans and a Chicagoan of the Year. We could not be more excited to honor Jahmal and to hear his message tonight. Please give a warm welcome to Jahmal Cole.
Hey, so I applied to one college in high school, one college, literally, and that was Howard University, of course. Shouts to the Bisons, and that's because Sean Puffy Combs went to school there, Puff Daddy, and he had a record label with Biggie Smalls. And, my friends and I, we didn't choose colleges based upon the skills we had and what the schools offered, then match them. We chose colleges based upon big names. Was it on ESPN? In my case, Sean Puffy Combs went to Howard, so that's where I want to go. I want to be like him. I paid $75 for the application for Howard. And listen, we didn't have $75 growing up. Like, I didn't know a food stamp wasn't real money until I put one in a pop machine and it broke. And the teachers laughed at me, right? I stayed in a homeless shelter on 52nd, man. So we didn't have no money, but we scrounged up the $75 and applied. Look, went through all that, never heard anything back from Howard University. Not one peep, nothing. Just didn't hear anything back all senior year. And so I went to my guidance counselor's office and I said, hey, it's 2 weeks before graduation and I want to go to college. I haven't heard anything back from Howard. She said, well, what is your second choice? I said, Michigan University, of course. I'm like the Fab Five. I'm going to the league, man. I'm going to the league. I'm about to buy my friends Cadillacs. I'm going to the NBA. And she was like, well, Jahmal, you need to recalibrate your expectations because, you go to an alternative high school, number one. You don't have good grades, number two. And, you might as well go to the trade school or go to the Army because you're not going to a Division I university. And, I didn't know the difference between Division I, Division II, Division III. I never met anybody that even graduated from college, right? And so, of course, this sounds like you hating on me. Why you talking down on me? This guidance counselor telling me, trying to take away from my dream. She hating on me. I had the long braids, I had the earrings. I thought I was Meek Mill, basically. And this lady talking down on me, man. Trying to take away my dream. So she left the office because her phone rang, and I looked to my left, and there was a black book with gold letters. It said All American Colleges on a bookshelf. I was like, I need that book. So I grabbed the book, ripped the page out of it, and shoved it in my pocket, right? And then she came back to the office, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what she was talking about, but maybe telling me the truth. But, through the ears of a 17-year-old kid, you talking down on me. And anyways, I went downstairs, I took the paper out of my pocket, and it said Wayne State College, Nebraska. I said, Nebraska? I was like, Nebraska? What is? I don't want to go to, why is this got to be, why can't it be California? Why can't it be New York City, Nebraska? What's in Nebraska? Buffaloes? But I didn't have any. This is all I had. This is my hope. I didn't have the internet. I had no email address. I had no college recruit. This is it. So I called the number 402-375-7000. And a lady named Nancy answered the phone. I said, Nancy, you guys got a basketball team? I'm going to the league, man. I'm about to buy everybody Cadillacs, She said, yeah, we got a basketball program. I said, Nancy, you guys got a business program? She said, yeah, send me some information. So long story long, y'all, they accepted me. They sent me an acceptance letter, and they accepted people from alternative high schools all around the country. So that one piece of paper I pulled out of the book in my guidance counselor's office accepted people. Wayne State accepted you even if you went to an alternative high school. It was amazing. God was shining down on me. Man, they sent the acceptance letter with a magazine. It had manicured lawns, a beautiful gymnasium, lights were everywhere. I'm going to Notre Dame, man. I feel like I didn't know the difference between colleges like that. So I just knew I was going to the league. And, I took the acceptance letter all around the hood. I was like, Ma, I took it to my mom. Ma, check it out. I got accepted to Wayne State College in Nebraska. I'm going to the league, Ma. I'm about to buy us all Cadillacs, Ma. And, my mom looked at the acceptance letter and she looked at me. She said, you going to college? I said, yeah. She said, well, what are you trying to be, white? I said, what am I trying to be, white? No, but I'm going to college. I'm about to go to the league. I'm about to buy everybody a Cadillac. Ain't you happy for me? I'm bettering myself. You think you better than everybody. But anyway, I came from my mom. I just kept it moving because, I was already living in a homeless shelter. I dealt with so much adversity already. This is just another, it is what it is. So I took the letter to my boys in the block. I said, Jeremy, check it out, man. I got accepted to Wayne State College in Nebraska, bro. I'm going to the league, man. I'm about to buy everybody Cadillacs, bro. Jeremy said, you got accepted to college? Like, you leaving the block? Man, I ain't going nowhere. I got my jaw broke that summer. I got jumped on when my jaw broke. I was walking around like Kanye West all summer. Everybody thought I was better than them because I'm going to college, right? So I had one more chance, one more hope. I was going to bring the acceptance letter to my dad. I was like, Pops, check it out, man. I got accepted to Wayne State College in Nebraska. I'm going to the league, man. I'm about to buy us all Cadillacs. We're going to get out this hotel, man. I'm about to, I'm going to buy you a Cadillac, man. We're going to be living that life, And my dad was like, you got accepted to college? I was like, yeah. And that same night, my dad stole a U-Haul truck and drove me to Nebraska, literally stole it. And when you're 17 in Chicago, you get a $500 credit card, a credit card with a $500 limit in the mail. We maxed that credit card. Getting to college, I bought some Air Force Ones, I ain't gonna lie. I bought some Air Force Ones and a Michigan University hat, even though I was going to Wayne State College. Who does that, right? But I did. I needed them Air Force Ones. But with the rest of the money, the $300-some-odd, we spent that on gas money. Like, my dad stole a 17-foot U-Haul truck to drive me to college. Like, who does that? Like, we did it. With nothing in the back but a pair of Air Force Ones and a basketball. But anyways, about 20 minutes before we got to this college, my dad says, man, look, I'm really proud of you. You've already, exceeded everybody's expectations. It's really nothing else. You've done more than I've done now. So I'm taking you here. I'm proud of you. He said, I do want to let you know, though, son, that, I got that letter in the mail from Howard University. And it hurt me to see you looking for that letter for the last 6 months. You was going back and forth to the mailbox, looking every day. But, they didn't accept you. And I never showed you the letter because I knew it would have killed you, And it would have, man. It would have. Like, I was living in a hotel. If I went to school 2 days a week, my parents would be like, hey, you going to school again? I didn't have to go to school, let alone apply to college. There's nobody reinforcing what I was learning. So I paid $75 and wrote an essay to Howard, and they didn't accept me. It would have killed me. And my dad said he never showed me that letter because, he didn't want me to be like my brothers and my cousins and end up in jail. And so, and I'm glad that was one of the best things he ever did for me. But when I got to college, man, I went to the basketball coach's office and I said, yo, I'm Jahmal Cole. I'm from Chicago. I'm going to the league, man. I'm about to buy everybody Cadillacs, man. I just showed up in his office and he was like, yo, everybody was 7 foot tall, 6'10", from England and all over the world. They were like, yo, we don't do business like that. You got to get recruited to play basketball here. I was like, man, I'm from Chicago. I'm going to the league. I'm nice. And they was like, yo, pretty much laughed me out the office. And but since I knew where the coach's office was, every day for 2 months I stopped by his office. Hey, you see the game last night? You see LeBron? You see Stephon Marbury? I'm going to the league like them, bro. I got a crossover. Every day I stopped by his office, and for 2 months, literally, even a Sunday, every day, just hey, how's it going? Just so he could see me. After 2 months, he was like, yo, you're the most persistent person I've ever met, man. And he gave me a tryout to walk on the basketball team. And they didn't even accept walk-ons at this time, but I don't know, the spirit hit him, and he let me walk on the basketball team after the tryout. And look, I'm going to the league, y'all. I'm like, my dreams is coming true. I'm in college. I'm going to the league, man. I'm about to play basketball. I never owned a pair of basketball shorts until I got to college. A Mexican dude named Rob gave me my first pair of basketball shorts. It was like a purple pair of extra shorts he had. That's how poor I was growing up. I didn't have nothing, like, at all. The first time I ever tasted lasagna was when I broke into somebody's house, right? And I tasted the lasagna and I was like, this is what it tastes like to be rich, right? That's all my friends did. We didn't have nothing. We broke into houses to eat pineapples. Like, we didn't have anything growing up, right? We had a poverty of imagination, really, is what we had, or deficit of hope. But anyway, I'm in college. I'm going to the league now. I came from living in a motel. Now I got shorts. I got Adidas. I'm going to the league, baby. And after 6 months of playing college basketball, my coach said, Jahmal, he said, hey, why you got a great personality, you work hard, but why do you have a 1.7 GPA? And I was like, well, since you let me walk onto the team, coach, I'll tell you the truth. And the truth is, I don't have any books. I've never even read a book in my whole life. I went to an alternative high school, so I'm not used to having teachers, let alone professors. I don't know how to study. You say, why don't I get good grades, coach? Seriously? People in Nebraska's racist, man. You kidding me? Look, my first day on the basketball team, someone come up to me and said, hey, I've never played ball with a colored person before. What? Why don't I get good grades, coach? Look, it's cold out here, coach. I don't have no money. I hate the food. It smells like manure. Y'all treat me racist. I'm having a hard time adjusting, man. After these long practices, I don't got no time to be studying, bro. I got to get back to my dorm room, roll some dice, and make some friends. And my coach, his name was Rico Burkett. He was real patient with me, real patient. And I needed him to be. And he said, I said, man, they're racist out here, bro. People call me colored. I can't stand this. I'm homesick. He said, Jahmal, you know what's missing from your list of excuses? I said, what? He said, your name's not on it. He said, no excuses. The highest level of maturity is taking full responsibility for your actions. I said, I'm not making no excuses, coach. You asked me why I didn't get good grades. I just told you, bro. I'm not making excuses. I told you it's cold out here. I don't got no money. I hate the food. It smells like manure. They treat me racist, man. I'm having a hard time adjusting, coach. After these long practices, I don't have time. You got me practicing 3 times a day. I don't have time to get back to my dorm room and read. I'm tired. I want to watch some Scarface, chill a little bit with my friends. He said, Jahmal, no excuses. The highest level of maturity is taking full responsibility for your actions, yo. So I left the office. I'm like, this dude talking down on me, just like my guidance counselor, hating on me, trying to take my dream away. But he brought me back to the office the next day, and he gave me a $500 book scholarship. And I'm like, this is $500? I'm going to the league, baby. This is the second time I got $500 my whole life. So, I bought some more Air Force Ones, another Michigan hat, like, even though I go to Wayne State. Who does that? Me. And I bought 4 of the 5 books that I needed, right? And I was happy. 4 of the 5 books I needed. In one semester, I went from a 1.7 GPA to a 3.5 GPA. So I had 4 A's and 1 C on my report card. I'm going to the league, baby. Check out my report card, coach. You wasn't playing me last semester. You said I was making bad grades. Now I got 4 A's and a C. What can you tell me? 4 A's and a C, 3.5, holla at me. My coach looked at my report card. He looked at me. He looked at my report card. He looked at me. He said, why the hell did you get a C? Why did I get a C? I just told you it was cold out here. I don't got no money. I hate the food. It smells like manure. Y'all treat me racist. I'm having a hard time adjusting, man. This is my first time ever getting an A. I got 4 of you. You should be happy for me. Why you talking down on me, man? You trying to take my... Listen, I tell y'all this whole story because in my 3 years of college, I played 5 minutes of basketball. I never played at all. I never played. Like, this dude took my dream away from me, man. I hated this coach. You know how many Cadillacs I promised people back home, man? This dude, like, I graduated, nobody showed up, right? I did graduate college in 3 years because I made straight A's and I was a scholar athlete and I traveled the world, right, for free. But I didn't appreciate it because I didn't have a frame of reference. And success to me was just going to the league or being a rapper. That was the only success I ever saw. I didn't know it in different forms. So, I wrote a book about wanting to be a rapper and a basketball player and not seeing success in different forms, and I published it. And I was selling books downtown Chicago in front of Foot Locker, and somebody from Cook County Jail read the book. And he said, hey, why don't you come to the jail and tell your story? It's very inspirational. Can you come talk to the young men? And I got to the jail, and nobody wanted to hear me speak at the jail, so I just started swimming. I said, hey, yo, you don't want to hear me speak, Marquell? Okay, cool, man. Why hasn't your life worked out like you want it up until right now? What's went wrong for you? You know what Marquell said? He said, it's cold out here. I don't got no money. I hate the food. It smell like manure. They treat me racist. He said, I'm having a hard time adjusting, Jahmal. You know, after these long days of school, I ain't got no time to be studying, bro. I got to get back. I'm trying to feed my parents, man. I'm paying rent for my... I was like, wow. I was like, that's my list of excuses. That's the same list of excuses I gave my coach. He said, the police is messed up. The schools is messed up. The community... Listen, his philosophy was messed up, man. That philosophy is messed up, y'all. Yeah, I'm telling you this. I tell y'all this story because you ask somebody in Chicago right now. You say, hey man, why does your neighborhood look like this? You know what they say? Oh man, the alderman is messed up, the people is messed up, the schools is messed up, the economy is messed up, their philosophy is messed up. That philosophy is messed up, man. Instead of blaming stuff on other people, you can ask yourself, 15 words, man. What's something simple that I can do that'll have a positive impact on my block? What's something simple that I can do that'll have a positive impact on my block? Hey, at my block, my hood, my city, we're all about exposure. We're all about taking care of people no matter what. A lot of kids in Chicago, they've never been downtown. They never waited for a taxi. There's 15 currency exchanges in the neighborhood and no banks. You ask a kid what's a job at a bank, they don't know. I talked to a kid, I said, hey, what'd you do last weekend? He said, man, I had a good weekend, Jahmal. I ate some good food, got to hang out a little bit. I said, well, would y'all have a barbecue? Oh, no, I just went to Leaks on 79th Street. It was the best funeral I've ever been to. The best funeral. Your kids is in 9th grade, been to 15 funerals. It's not regular, man, right? It's not regular to have to order your breakfast through bulletproof glass windows every day. Say all this because Chicago wasn't designed for everybody to be inspired. You can't be inspired when you don't have the internet and you got to go to McDonald's to use the Wi-Fi, right? You can't be inspired when every billboard in your community says cheap divorces and $6,000 tax advances, right? You can't be inspired when helicopters land in your crib every day, right? That's not inspirational, right? That's traumatizing, right? So, shout out to Cliff Nellis, man, and everybody at the Lawndale Christian Legal Center, man, because you guys not only provide legal services, but y'all positive role models, and y'all right there in the community amongst the people. And the basketball gym, the place where it's like an oasis, right? It's like a living room in North Lawndale, which you guys provide people. And I know I would, as a young activist, just understanding what social justice is and reform stuff is, like Cliff has been instrumental in just being a mentor and teacher for me, just giving me that access to see it as possible. If you show people better, they can do better. But if we don't know better, it's hard for us to do better. So I just want to say shout out to Cliff and everybody on his team over there. Shout out to Brandis for the award and everything like that. Like, you are great. I love WTTW Chicago Tonight. I love how y'all challenge people, challenge activists, challenge politicians. Thank you for giving us a platform. We're amplifying the work we do in my block, my hood, my city. I hope to continue to synergize with y'all. Nothing but love. Y'all be easy. I'm going to the league, man. Buying everybody Cadillacs,
Thank you so much, Jahmal, for sharing your story and for supporting our events. We are almost finished, but before Brandis announces our final raffle prize winners, I wanted to ask you one more time for your support of LCLC. Below is the donate button, which you can use to donate any amount you can to our important justice work. Now back to you, Brandis, to close out the event.
Karen, thank you so much. What a powerful message from Jahmal Cole, our award recipient this evening. Jahmal, thank you for the love. Thank you for the work that you do and for so honestly sharing your story with us tonight. Congratulations on this award. And let me just say, you are in the league, my friend. Congrats again. This brings our speaking program to an end. But before we go, we have some more raffle items to give away, of course, as promised. We have 5 items for 5 lucky winners. First up, we have a virtual wine tasting from PRP Wine. That includes up to 12 people plus a $25 gift card to Lou Malnati's. So that sounds like a good home party to me, since that's where most of us are going to be, probably. The winner for this raffle goes to, or the winner for this raffle is Steve Savall. Congrats, Steve Savall. Our next item is donated from Maplewood Brewery and Distillery, and it includes a $50 gift card plus a gift package. The winner for this item is Rebecca Letty. Congratulations, Rebecca Letty. These items are getting bigger and bigger. Another gift card and a swag bag. This time it is from Revolution Brewery with a $100 gift card. This one goes to Kelly Hallberg, or Hallberg. Kelly Hallberg. Apologies if I messed that up. Congratulations. And a really exciting package for all of the active runners out there, coming from LCLC's very own Karen Kopp, who you just heard from. An exciting 18-week training program customized for any distance race, plus endurance training goodies. So our lucky speed runner this evening is Jennifer Ping. Congrats, Jennifer Ping. Jennifer, I hope you're actually a runner. If not, this will get you ready for it. And finally, another very generous gift card. This one is courtesy of Dr. Dennis Deere, a $500 gift card to 94 West Restaurant in Orland Park. Thank you, Dr. Deere, for that donation. Lucky winner is Matthew McFarland. Congratulations, Matthew McFarland. Thank you once again to all of our supporters for those raffle items and to all of our sponsors from tonight. Again, they are Indiana, Illinois, Iowa Foundation for Fair Contracting, Riley Safer Homes and Cancilla, Rachel Lay, Jenner and Block, Schiff Harden, Pepsi, GMA Construction Group, Hugendorn and Talbot, the Staines Family Foundation, Small Good, Saul Ewing Arnstein and Lair, Tomasic Coat and Casserman, LLC, and Dr. Dennis Deere. If you registered to join Cliff's VIP reception tonight, please refer to your email with the Zoom registration information. We'll be starting that at 7:45. And for anyone else watching, do stay tuned after this for a brief interview with our Emerging Leader Award winner, Anita Stevens. Stick around for that. That does it, though, for tonight's 9th Annual Benefit Gala from the Lawndale Christian Legal Center. Thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to join you this evening. We hope to see you in person at next year's gala or sooner. Have a good night.
Okay. Hi there, my name is Diana Glendy. I'm a case manager at Lawndale Christian Legal Center, and I worked with Anita Stevens for the past year. We also have with us Tomas Ramirez. He played a very important role in her getting her case dismissed. And so I just want to follow up with a couple of questions about Anita's experience working with us. Anita, what did you think when you first got connected with LCLC and you realized that you had a whole team of support behind you and not just an attorney?
Actually, I wasn't aware of the whole team that I did have behind me. I was kind of more thinking like, hey, I'm going here, get this lawyer, and get my case settled. But once I actually came here, I was introduced to a lawyer, then I was introduced to you, and then behind you came all these other things. It was like surprising, actually. It was shocking. And I was like, wow, I get all this for, and I kind of thought like I did wrong. And I got all this behind me. So it was it was a blessing to me because I got several different things out of this. She helped me all the way through, like if I needed a ride here, a ride there, if I needed support any type of way, she was there, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, I was LCLC actually like they like, how can I say, I feel like it made me a better person in a way, because it was you guys offer a lot of helpful tools for me, and I'm really like grateful for that.
Yeah, well, Anita, you were an amazing client to work with. You were extremely engaged and just a role model, I feel like, for other people in our community, and just kind of the situation that happened is not the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Right.
That doesn't define you, and you really proved that.
Right.
I also want to touch on the fact that you're able to, through working with LCLC, you're able to get a little bit more connected with your community, especially through Tomas.
Yes.
Tomas, do you at all want to describe kind of what your role was in Anita's life?
Absolutely. So my role was as Anita's circle facilitator, but also designing some of the specialized activities that were part of her repair of harm agreement. And restorative justice, restorative processes are about being in right relationship. Mm-hmm. And the beautiful thing is that Anita embodies the example of someone working really hard to reconnect with community, but it's also the most beautiful manifestation of what happens when you actually give the resources that somebody needs in a way that it makes sense to them. Not only she participated in the circle process, but also the people who were part of her support group for the circle chose to collaborate with her as she was taking on some of those really intense, which by the way, I have to say, circle process was not easy at all, and even the specialized activities. So given who she is and given her transparency and her willingness to be vulnerable and work really hard, we're able to do some really amazing things. And there were some really unique activities that she was able to do as part of her repair of harm agreement. And having her case dismissed is in record time, and also giving the precedent that her case created in the court is the biggest example of her resiliency. And once again, what happens when you give the resources that people need.
Thank you. Well, Anita, we're really, really excited to give you this award and honor you this evening. And just keep doing what you're doing and keep on making those positive choices, and you're gonna have such a bright future.
Thank you guys. I feel so loved. Thank you.